Emily had always been fascinated by the antique shop on the corner of her street. She loved browsing through its dusty shelves, searching for unique treasures to adorn her home. So when she stumbled upon an old, ornate mirror with a peculiar aura about it, she knew she had to have it. The shopkeeper warned her that the mirror was said to be cursed, but Emily wasn't one to believe in superstitions. She took the mirror home and hung it above her fireplace, feeling an inexplicable connection to it. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But as the days passed, Emily began to notice strange reflections staring back at her from the mirror's surface. At first, they were just slight variations on herself, a different hairstyle, a different outfit, but soon the differences became more pronounced. She saw a version of herself as a successful businesswoman, standing confidently in front of a large corporation. She saw another version as a famous artist, her paintings hanging in galleries around the world. And then there was a version of herself as a young mother, playing with her children in a lush green park. As Emily gazed deeper into the mirror, she began to realize that these reflections weren't just random visions, they were alternate versions of herself, each living their own life. She saw a version of herself as a fearless adventurer, exploring the depths of the Amazon rainforest. Another version was a skilled musician, playing sold-out concerts in front of adoring crowds. The more Emily looked into the mirror, the more she became obsessed with the different versions of herself. She spent hours staring at her reflections, trying to understand what made each of them tick. And as she did, she began to notice subtle changes within herself, a newfound confidence, a sense of purpose that she had never felt before. But with every passing day, Emily's grip on reality began to slip. She found herself becoming lost in the infinite possibilities presented by the mirror, unable to distinguish between her own life and those of her alternate selves. One night, as she gazed into the mirror, she saw a version of herself as an old woman, sitting alone in a rocking chair. The old woman looked back at Emily with a piercing gaze, as if to say, "Who are you?" The reflection seemed to stir, and then vanished into thin air. Emily was left staring at her own reflection, feeling a sense of disorientation wash over her. She realized that she had been living in the shadow of these alternate versions for far too long. It was time to create her own life. With newfound determination, Emily began to make changes in her own life. She started taking risks, pursuing her passions with reckless abandon. And as she did, she noticed subtle shifts within herself, a sense of purpose, a feeling of belonging that she had never experienced before. The mirror continued to reveal its secrets to Emily, but now she was no longer afraid. She saw versions of herself as a leader, inspiring others to follow their dreams. Another version was a wise mentor, guiding young people through the complexities of life. And then there was a version of herself as a guardian, protecting the world from forces beyond her control. As Emily gazed deeper into the mirror, she realized that she was not just reflecting back at herself, she was seeing the infinite possibilities within herself. As the days passed, Emily's transformation became more profound. She felt a sense of power and purpose that she had never experienced before. And when she finally looked away from the mirror, she knew that she had found her true self. But as she turned to walk away, she saw one final reflection staring back at her, a version of herself as someone else entirely. The figure was shrouded in shadows, its face obscured by an impenetrable veil. And as Emily gazed deeper into the mirror, she whispered a single question: "Who are you?"